Man, one shooter after another. This is sucking out my life force. See if I got that in. Yes, I did. 30 lives code, and we're off. Welcome to Life Force. This is a Konami-made game, released under the Konami label for the NES. And it was also partially based off a arcade production by Konami. In the arcade in North America, it was known as Life Force. In Japan, it followed the Salamander series, the first of which came over here as Gradius. So essentially this is Gradius 2, though not in name. But you can see all the standard, wow, that was sad. But you can see all the standard expected things apply, such as the Konami code, and the standard accoutrements of weapons and power-ups. I will show off laser in a moment. Yeah, the longer you hold that, the longer a laser you get. It's terrible for rapid fire, though. That's rapid fire with the laser. So I hate laser, and I didn't mean to do that. But oh well. I hate laser, and I am going to get rid of that and get ripple as soon as I can. Also, get used to the weird tink-tink sound. That's going to be around here quite a lot. Most of these you can only do one level of. You can do multiple levels of speed, but 2 at the max is enough for me because that tends to make me move too fast and get me in trouble ramming right into stuff. You can also do 2 levels of missile, and that'll give you faster going missiles, high and low. I much prefer Ripple because you have that spread out shot. And it's fire and forget, so. And those things you're going to want to look out for the yellow part here. That's usually indicating that they're either vulnerable in that spot, or that when destroyed, they will give you a power pill, or whatever the hell it is. I don't know if there's ever been like a really official name for it. Power capsule. No. So, level 1, relatively short here. I'm just going to set my mouse aside. And we begin, or we continue with our wonderful tradition of Gradius brains. I do remember the name of this boss. His name is Golem. They also referred to the bosses as mayors. I remember in the instruction manual saying that Golem was elected mayor of this stage because of his alleged wit, or alleged and great intelligence. But he really has all the wit and intelligence of a French fry. And he is easily suckered, as you can see. Just circle around him. Wow, and the missile finishes him off. That's kind of sad. I'm bringing my words together tonight. I apologize. So, as you can see, we switch between side-scrolling and vertical scrolling. Something that would later be replicated in Axlay, which I've played before. Let me get a force field going. Force field will protect you against shots and some types of physical collision. But even with a force field, you're going to want to still try to avoid as much as possible. And the normal strategy I have, once I've gotten every power up, I get enough to put the the dot back on force field. That way, if I lose it, I can immediately bring it back up again. Yep, brain with tentacles. You saw it. So we got volcano eruptions here. You can actually shoot at the cone. And it is supposed to explode the volcano. I didn't do it there for some reason. But it's actually supposed to destroy the top of it and keep the volcano from erupting. Like that. That was what was supposed to happen last time. And there's going to be a lot of places where you can follow different paths. Some better than others. I really don't remember all that well. Oh, okay, I remember this. I don't remember all that well which paths are better than others. And this section is particularly annoying because you get a lot of flicker from these rocks falling, and they tend to just come in huge waves. And these rocks will split up. This area, unlike the one in Stage 1, will not reform after you've shot it. So you can feel free to just carve a path through it as you will. And good thing about having an option there, you can get a little bit of extra room by having the option carve out some more space for you. That way if something comes in you need to switch around, you can do so. A little sniffly too tonight, please pardon me for that. And there are some power cells in here, and this is both good and bad. Because if you already had something on what you want... Oh, I can get another option, didn't even realize that. You know, it can set you off of that, and that's not good. Oh, little proof of concept, you can actually hide up in here if you want, but those balls can go back up into the chambers, so not really advisable. Also, even though it looked like everything was solid ground down where you were, the part at the bottom of the screen where you have all the information and score and all does actually still stay viable for about a second after it leaves the screen, so if you dip below this part, you can destroy yourself. And this boss is called the Intruder. And this can be a tight fit if you're not careful. Eventually those spinning tentacles are going to extend further out, so you'll have less of a area to dodge. You can kind of see the fourth section right on the inside of it. It is also possible, by the way, to scoot a missile up into that channel and damage the eye that way. Shoot the core! I will say, Gradius 5 is not, it's not a game that I played much, but I definitely liked watching it because there were very amazing character designs. And this boss got a really cool redesign. It had solid tentacles with laser cannons at the end of it, so as it spun around it would take small shots, and then it would tighten up the tentacles and start spinning them around quickly and just blanket the screen with laser fire. Oh, sorry to hear that, Diode, but glad you're still here. But yeah, the Intruder fight is one you have to be a bit careful of. I'm actually sort of lucky that I did that accidental extra speed up, because doing one speed up will allow you to get around just barely in between the tentacles, but the timing is really tight. As you can see, a missile got up there. But there is a very definite point where if you don't move and get ahead of this, you will end up crowded in a corner and squished. Yeah, Intruder is a boss where you really should concentrate on dodging around and letting the options do the work for you. So even there, that was a risk. And there we go. And now we have fire birds here, which are providing our power pods for us. I think I've resigned to calling them power pods, and I did say power cells once before, but... And this level is called the Prominence Stage. And you're going to see why in a moment, because of the main feature of this stage. Yeah, this is an area where you've got to be very careful and, as much as possible, hang towards the middle of the screen. And don't stick yourself too far forward. And that's why it's called the Prominence Stage. There are a bunch of them through here. And those, as you can imagine, are instant death. And we have several occasions where they will be coming 3 at a time. Fortunately, they always come in a set pattern. So, but then again, you know, sometimes it's possible to forget the pattern. And the thing is, if you have a set of 3 coming from one direction, or one part of the stage like that, you can guarantee most of the time that you're going to have at least one coming from the other direction. So, that's about as close as you get to predictable. I think I took a hit there and lost part of my force field. Oh, good God, that was close. Oh, and I went one too far. And there's going to be a total of 3 dragons in this stage. That was the second, so we're a little better than midway through. And I think this is the last set of prominences. Yes, it is, because this is the last dragon. Granted. But again, I'll take over-ambitious over unambitious. And this is Cruiser Tetron. Not to be confused with the boss from Hero Corps. I remember, according to the manual, he hates everything. He hates, like, puppies and laughter, and he especially hates pesky little starships. But I thought he was always really cool looking. You know, and especially made me wonder what the rest of them looked like. Okay, from here on out, I vaguely remember the names of the bosses. And by vaguely, I mean pretty much not at all. Enough to make a guess, maybe, sorta, kinda. So there's going to be all kinds of stuff to watch out for in this stage. So we got the cells on the side shooting at us. We got these globules. Yeah, the thing to remember is that with all the Gradius games, Life Force involves a combination of bio and mechanical. So, yeah, that was one of the globules with some red blood cells behind it. I destroyed it too fast to see. And speed section. Amusingly, my biggest obstacle in the speed section is trying not to pick up another power pod, because I don't want to go off force field. And it looked like there was some repetition there, but relatively short section, and we're through. So now these things, I'm going to try to blow them up before they pop on their own. Eventually one of them's going to pop, that's just inevitability, and there we go. You can get rid of those things. It takes a whole lot of shots, though, and they will move so slowly that it's very easy to get crowded into something else and trying to avoid them. Just proof they can be destroyed if you go at it enough. And since they're not bound by geographical area, yeah, they can stick around there for quite a while and menace you pretty badly. And it's best to get through those capillaries as quickly as you can, because the other enemies are still attacking. You want to be able to get shots at them. So you can destroy these, I don't know, ganglia, I guess. But more or less you want to stay to one side or the other, so you don't have to deal with so many of them. And you can destroy them, even though it's making the tinking sound. It is also possible to carve through the capillaries as they get extended. But they will, I believe they will reform when they come back out. Oh, I almost got all 5 with missiles. And ribcage. Ribcage with laser ribs. And so you got these, I don't know what to make of them. They're like, they almost look like the shrimp from Contra. Which would make sense, because it's Konami. So they will break apart when they get to the bottom of the screen. If you hit them with missiles or some kind of ordnance, they'll do so earlier. And that's actually advisable, because you'll have more time to get between them. And I believe this guy's name is Gigas, which may be a nod to H.R. Giger. Now, there's something interesting that he does, and I'm going to leave him alive long enough so he does it. Oh, also, because I have to say this, silence! I kill you! Okay. I gotta do a little more damage to him, I think. Yeah, when he has some damage done to him, he's going to send his eyes out at you. But there is an interesting side effect. Now watch what happens with his shots. Notice how they're a little less accurate? Yeah, because he can't see anymore. That was a nice touch I really liked about this boss. Good attention to detail. Oh, and this stage has awesome music. Yeah, pretty much. Or, yeah. Red Skull. Yeah. Well, then again, he always was Red Skull. So, these are kind of strange. There are only some of them you can destroy, and I don't remember exactly where they're placed. So the best thing to do is not to try to carve a quick point of proof of concept. You can't catch the options before they go back off screen. But the better thing to do is not lose them in the first place. But the better thing to do is just try to maneuver around them and not rely on them being destroyed or not. Yeah, these things are annoying because they're going to split shot like that. Ooh, too far down. Yeah, there's a lot of very narrow... Damn it. There's a lot of very narrow maneuvering in this area. The stage as a whole, really, not just this area. And a little thing coming up for people who remember Gradius fondly. Not just yet. Apparently, I thought it was sooner than it was. My mistake. So this part gets a little difficult. The thing is, it's not all that easy to circle around on them, and they are eventually just going to do that. And this level, or this area of the level, can just go right to hell. Rick, in particular, I know, remembers when I was playing Gradius 3 and the one part before the boss where all the tiles from the roof and ceiling came at me, and you couldn't believe that I actually managed to get through it unscathed. Yeah, that's what that's making me think of. And I think the Gradius bonus part, yep, here it is. Including the music. Now, the thing is, it's generally worth your while to destroy these things as fast as possible, just to get them out of the way. I don't remember what happens if you don't destroy them. Let's find out. Oh, I also want to shut something off. Whoop. Okay, well... Oh, did it destroy itself by hitting the option? That's interesting. Okay, I want to see if they just peace out eventually, but I guess not. At some point I lost force. I didn't realize that. But yeah, when it fires out those orange pellets, you can keep those guys around for a good while and just farm power pots for a good long while. That's a little tricky to get through. And missiles are your savior here because you can sneak them through the columns. We got kind of a combination of mythologies going on here, going like a combination Egyptian and Greek. But, the idea is this, I believe this is Bacterion, and the idea is Bacterion ate all these different planets and assimilated their geography into himself. So, it makes sense if it ate two different types of architecture, they might end up getting mashed together. Bacterion, the original purveyor of mixtapes. Yeah, now this is a place where you can dig for a lot of pod treasure, but you got to be really careful about it. And yeah, and sometimes you can end up really screwing yourself if you're trying to do the save a pod for something thing. And I'm not going to have a secondary force field for this boss, which makes me very worried. So first things first, we got the falling bricks here. And there's going to be a lot of tinking, so I'm just going to not bother firing. I believe this boss's name is Tutankhamun or something like that. It's some variation of Tutankhamun. And this is one of those bosses that's more intimidating, or it looks more intimidating than it is, but you still have to be fairly careful. So that shield is going to block your shots, as you can see. The target is the eyes. But because of the way the shield rotates, you're not always going to get solid shots in on him. And then he'll start doing that. He's going to try to creep up towards you and crowd you out, and my force field is gone. I'm not happy. So once that's done, there's really not much you can do except get to the back end of the screen and hope you can sneak through when he's going. There we go. As much as possible, you want to stay to the high part of the screen because since the target is the eyes, that's where you're going to get the bulk of your shots in. And they're only going to come when the shield rotates in just the right way. Okay, so let's get our force field back, shall we? And we are on the last level. Yeah, Life Force is a short game, but it's very cool. I had a lot of fun with this as a kid. I did like Gradius 3 also, which is a significantly longer game. Because I was so much more used to Gradius 3, there were things I tried to do in this when I was doing my test play that didn't work because it didn't work in this. Okay, so we got lots of balls here, and we've got those flame jets. Between the two, they are going to be a problem. The good thing with the flame jets is you can see where they would pop out based on the little red glowing dot. Only bad thing about it is they can come out in any of the clock directions. So, you know, just because you're where the land is or above it does not mean you're safe. You have to be very mindful. Oh shit, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so now we get into what looks like a fortress proper. Our best bet here is to be in the middle and a little bit forward. Like so. Gives us the best chance for having the five-way spreads pass right by us. And here's another problem. There are flame jets in this area, but there are no red spots to mark them. So you have to be very careful. And there are times when it's a good idea to move a bit forward on the screen. Those things will just switch sides and then diagonally come towards you, as you can see. But, you know, missiles can get rid of them before they even have a chance to do anything. And another one there. We'll sneak by it. And it wouldn't be a Gradius game without Moai, would it? Hey, Moai. Hey, Moai. Yeah. Had to sneak him in somewhere. Target is the mouth, as you might expect. And here we have a problem combination with the large Moai blocking your direct access to the 5-way cannons. And mini-boss here is a pair of bouncing Moai heads. But you see they can go down pretty quick. They'll just kind of bounce, jump back and forth until you destroy them. And then it'll take however long it takes, and then once you get through them, we head to this section with stationary Moai. Okay. Approaching final boss. Yeah, they're like, I'm sorry I have to do this. I think this was described as the vile heart of Bacterion or something like that. I don't think, I don't remember for sure. I remember something along those lines. I don't think the snake actually has a name. I think the snake is just big-ass space snake. But, the only vulnerable part is its head. So job one is to, pound on the snake and get rid of that, and just not get smacked by the blue rolling orbs it drops. And you do have to be very careful when the snake is down near the bottom. It's not ever going to careen into you. It stays in that particular spinning orbit, but the balls it drops may hit you at that point, and the heart goes down very quickly. We are not done. Okay, and prepare for the part where I really suck. Yeah, you know, boy, if I had a nickel, I would have 2 nickels. Yes, this is the escape. This is the escape sequence. This is the thing I am very likely to screw up. I'm not even bothering rewinding on this. Because much like the way I can't play Sonic games because I can't keep track of what's going on. And then there's that one fucking thing at the end where it closes on you. Yeah, I lose track when things are going too fast, so... And no credits or anything, but thank you for serenading us out, Konami. And we start again, just like with Gyrus. But just like with Gyrus, we're not doing that again. Once again, this invokes my the bummer feeling I had as a kid when the game restarted, feeling like, oh no, the threat came back and everybody expects me to save them again, but I can't turn this off or I'll be letting the galaxy down. Ah, well. But in any case, that was Life Force. Very fun game that I've always enjoyed. And after defeating that, I feel muy better. At any rate, may your life force always be strong. Until we game again. This episode's gastric bypass was made possible by Mike Panza, Rick in Baltimore, Diode, the post-production work of Matthew Carr Anderson, and all my big-hearted Lycanthro fans. Thank you very much for your continued support. Until we game again.